Okay, Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. So today we are going to learn about the other services in auditing. Okay, so first you have to know the definitions of assurance itself. Okay, what is assurance? Okay, assurance is the engagement where a practitioner express a conclusion designed to enhance the degree of confidence. Because as the auditor, you have to issue the audit report. So, by using the assurance, so you can enhance the degree of confidence of the users of the financial report during the evaluation. Okay, during users of the audit report. Okay, and then in simple term, giving assurance means when you are offering an opinion about the specific information. So the user of information able to make confident decision, knowing that the risk of the information being incorrect is reduced. It's not that there is no material mistake or material misstatement, zero material misstatement. But by giving the assurance, okay, the user can be confident that when they are using the information from the report, so the risk can be reduced. Okay, there are 5 elements of assurance engagement. Okay, 5 elements, where the first one is 3 parties involvement, which involve practitioner, for example, the firm, the auditor, and then intended user who are going to use the report. So basically the shareholders, and also the responsible party, which is director. And the second element is the subject matter, where which area you have to focus on. Usually we focus on the financial statement, the financial data, and also the system or software that you have used in order to prepare the report. And then the suitable criteria, meaning to say that you have to judge the reliability and accuracy of the report, the accounting standard, for example, International Financial Reporting Standard, Malaysian Financial Reporting Standard. You have to look through whether it achieved the requirements of the standard. And the Company Act Codes of Corporate Governance. Okay, corporate governance, there includes corporate responsibility of the auditor and the other parties lah. Okay, and then evidence which is sufficient and appropriate evidence to substantiate the opinion. So as the auditor, for assurance engagement, to give the reasonable opinion, so you have to make sure that you get the sufficient and appropriate evidence. There is no limitations of collecting the data or any disagreement of with the management. And then the written assurance report. Written assurance report means to say that expressing a conclusion or opinion in an appropriate form. Okay. This is all the 5 elements of assurance engagement. Okay. Reasonable assurance engagement. What is it? So in a reasonable assurance engagement, the practitioner, the auditor, the partner, can gather sufficient appropriate evidence to be able to draw reasonable conclusion. And it concludes that the subject matter conform in all material respect with identified suitable criteria and give a positive worded assurance opinion. Where, for example, giving a reasonable assurance engagement by issue the audit of the financial statement. Okay, reasonable assurance engagement include the illustration of a positively worded assurance opinion. Okay, for example, okay, here, in our opinion, the financial statement present fairly in all material respect, or give a true and fair view of the financial position of ABC Company as at December 31st, 2000, and of its financial performance and its cash flow for the year ended in accordance with International Financial Reporting Standard. So this is the examples of giving the worded of assurance opinion. Okay, so limited assurance engagement. Okay, so in a limited assurance engagement, a practitioner should gather sufficient appropriate evidence, okay, at least sufficient, okay, to be able to draw limited conclusion. Concludes that subject matter with respect to identified suitable criteria is plausible in the circumstances, and give a negatively worded assurance opinion. So this is the conditions when there is limited assurance engagement. So for example, you review the engagement. You review the engagement again from the perspective of the client and the auditors itself, right? So it is possible for small companies who are not legally required to have a full audit to have a review of their financial statement to enable them to present their accounts to potential lender such as banker. So usually kalau if the small company, so it is not compulsory for them to have a full audit. So it just sufficient for them to have a review of financial statement. So they can present to the potential lender. Okay, right, the bank, bankers, and the what else? The Cone National, let's say, to get some money fund, yeah, right. Then illustration of negatively worded assurance opinion. Okay, for example, nothing has come to our attention that caused us to believe that the financial statement as of 31st December 2000 are not prepared in all material respect in accordance with an applicable financial reporting framework. Okay, this is the example of the negatively worded assurance opinion. Okay, expectation gap. Okay, what is expectation gap? Okay, expectation gap is the misconception. Okay, salah sangka, salah anggapan, misconcept about the role of auditor are referred to as the expectation gap. So auditor provide reasonable assurance which is not absolute assurance. Okay, so the responsibility of auditor is to provide just the reasonable assurance opinion, which is not absolute assurance. Means not totally, there is no wrong, no mistake of the opinion that they give. So they just provide the reasonable assurance. The limitations of audit mean that is not possible to provide 100% guarantee. We as a human, we cannot ignore, okay, atau elak any 100% of the mistake. Of course, kita mesti as a human, of course kita kadang-kadang buat some error without any intention. Okay, for example, I believe the auditor tests all transaction and balance. So auditor tests on a sample basis. And then expectation gap is also a belief that auditor will detect all frauds. Sometimes the users or shareholders expect that, oh, auditor should detect all the frauds. Okay, so auditor are required to provide reasonable assurance that financial statements are free from material misstatement, which may caused by fraud. Okay, and then a belief that auditor are responsible for preparing the financial statement. This is the responsibility for management. Okay, Remember, during your previous class, okay, the responsibility to provide the financial statement is going to the management. And then I believe that an unmodified auditor's opinion guarantee that the company is a going concern. That is wrong. Okay. Assurance prospectus is also known as prospective financial statement. Okay. There are two types of prospective financial statement, which is forecast and projection. Okay, forecast is present and entity financial position, result of operation and cash flow to the best of the responsibility party knowledge and belief. So forecast usually required by bank as a part of loan application. Kita forecast anjakan. And then projection. Projection present an entity financial position, result of operation, and cash flow to the best of the responsibility party knowledge and belief, given one or more hypothetical assumption. For example, projection with assumption that price of product increased by 10% with no reduction in units. So that is example of the projection. Okay, these are the other example of assurance for prospectus. For example, evaluate the propositions of prospectus, evaluate the support, underlying assumptions. Okay, you review the assumption and then evaluate the presentation of prospectus financial statement for conformity with ICPA presentation guideline. ICPA is the standard. And issuing an examination report. Okay, so due diligence review. So what is due diligence review? It consists of a wide range of matter and may or may not require professional opinions. Okay, so therefore it can be categorized as either assurance or non-assurance engagement when you are doing the due diligence review. It can be described as work commissioned by a client, involve agreed inquiries into aspects of accounts, or usually involve organization that client is interested to acquire or invest in. So it also represents by issuance of engagement letter, which will set out the work that need to be done and the expected period of completion. Common with takeover and mergers and can be carried out not only by accountants but also actuaries, surveyors, lawyers, and other professionals. Right? Okay, next, forensic audit. Okay, what is the function for forensic audit? In order to obtain or develop information as legal evidence or for the use by expert witness in court cases. That is the functions of the forensic audit. So it requires auditor to use their critical analysis and investigation skills, integrate with accounting knowledge and also business experience. Situations which involve forensic audit include business or employee fraud. Okay, so employee do fraud such as misappropriate the PPE, and criminal investigation, shareholders and partnership dispute, and business economic losses. Alright. Okay, forensic audit. Forensic audit include forensic audit include accepting assignment, which require a letter of engagement, and then you plan the work, and then gathering evidence, include the investigation, do some hire some personnel to work on the report given to you. If you see there is any misconduct, and then reporting, and finally in the forensic audit you have to do the court proceeding. Okay, court proceeding. So corporate proceeding involve all the judgment between the plaintiff and defendant. Okay, that's all for this topic. Thank you.